Okay, so are you ready to dive into this whole TikTok ban thing?
I am. This is
It's a big one.
this big one, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like
Huge story.
everyone's been talking about it, people posting their goodbyes on TikTok and stuff.
I know, right? Everyone's saying farewell.
Yeah, and like we've got all these articles here about the legal battles and the government decrees and everything. So I guess,
We've got a lot to unpack here, yeah.
yeah, so let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first of all, TikTok is actually offline in the US now. Like it's gone.
It is. It's really weird to think about, isn't it?
It is. Like I went on the App Store just to see,
Oh, really?
and it's just not there.
Wow.
Yeah. And I guess people who still have it on their phones,
Yeah.
they open it up and there's a message saying it's banned.
Yeah, just a little message explaining that there's a new law, and because of that law, TikTok is banned.
So this is because of a law.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like it happened pretty fast, like all of a sudden. Was this ban like a total surprise?
Well, no, not exactly. The thing is, this law was actually passed way back in April of last year.
Oh, wow.
But there were all these legal challenges, and then people trying to, find a U.S. buyer for TikTok.
Right.
And the deadline for all that was January 19th. So
And today is.
January 19th.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's why.
So here we are. Yeah.
Here we are. Okay. So I was reading one of the articles here, and it mentions President Biden.
Mm-hmm.
But wait a second, it also mentions Donald Trump.
Right. So this is where the whole thing gets a little crazy.
Okay, so how are both of them involved in this?
Yeah. Well, so Biden was the one who was going to kind of leave this whole TikTok thing, for his successor to deal with,
And that successors?
Donald Trump.
Uh,
But get this, Trump has actually hinted that he might give TikTok a 90-day, a break from the ban.
like a 90-day,
A 90-day reprieve.
a reprieve. Okay, so 90 days, that gives TikTok a little bit of time.
Yeah, a little bit of breathing room.
Okay, but so why? Like, why would they even think about keeping TikTok around?
Well, TikTok's argument, is that banning it is violates free speech rights
I can see that, yeah.
for all of its users.
Yeah, and there's a lot of users.
A lot. Like 170 million people in the U.S. alone.
Wow. 170 million. Okay. Yeah, I can see why they'd be upset.
Yeah, and their CEO, what's his name? Shouzi Chu.
Okay.
He even appealed directly to Trump
Oh, wow.
about the whole thing.
So there's definitely some people who don't want this ban to happen.
For sure.
Like some of the TikTok creators I was reading about are like freaking out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
Some of these people depend on TikTok for their income,
Their whole job.
their whole job. So yeah, losing access to it means serious financial trouble.
Yeah. One of the creators that they quoted in the article is Nicole Bloomgarden.
Right.
And she said that if the ban happens, she'll be taking a major pay cut.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's this other creator, Erica Thompson.
Yeah.
And she's more worried about the educational stuff that's on TikTok.
Bees.
The bees. Right. She posts a lot about bees.
She's worried that all that educational content, is just going to disappear.
And so all those people who learned about bees from her, they're not going to have that anymore.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to think about, right? All these different impacts, the money the creators are losing,
Yeah.
the educational content that might go away. It's a lot.
It's a big deal. So where does this leave us? Like, is TikTok coming back?
It's hard to say.
What does this mean for people who use TikTok in other countries?
Yeah, where I am right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a really good question. I mean, this whole TikTok saga, brings up some really big questions.
Like what kind of questions?
Well, how do we balance protecting national interests with, ensuring free speech online?
Right.
Especially in this digital age where everything is so interconnected.
And what about the global implications? Could other countries do the same thing?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we've already seen it happen in India. And this ban in the U.S. could make other countries think, hey, maybe we should do that too.
So it's like, if TikTok can be banned here, could it be banned anywhere?
Pretty much. Makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
About the future of the internet,
Yeah, where do we draw the line?
Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm still trying to process all of this. What do you think? Let us know.
Yeah, tell us your thoughts.
We're interested to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the TikTok ban. It's a crazy story, and it's still unfolding, so stay tuned. We'll keep you updated.
Absolutely. We'll be back.